Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank each of you for your testimony and all that you do for our veterans. I appreciated the question that Senator Udall was asking when I came in about the access to care that's provided to our veterans in rural parts of the country. And of course, Alaska, we're beyond rural, and it is a reality that more often than not, the services that may be provided when it comes to that level of support may be the crisis line on the phone, or what we're doing through video conferencing technologies and effectively utilizing these technologies that allow us to connect a little bit better. It's not the preferred alternative, but it does give us some opportunities. And I had worked with this subcommittee a few years back to put some language in, pushing VA to do more with allowing readily available video conferencing technologies. So it's good to hear that we're making some progress there. I'm reading the comments from you, Dr. Ramchan, about the role of community-based prevention. And again, in so many parts of Alaska, our veterans are out in a small rural village. There are no services. We may not have ability to hook into any technology that might be available for others. And so it is the community that more often than not that provides that support. And unfortunately, our suicide statistics in the broader community are far and above other states in terms of our numbers. So we have a suicide issue amongst all of our population, and then our veteran population just adds to the real consequences and the severity of the problem. So on your comments, Dr. Ramchan, and the role that the community plays, I've had an opportunity just this past week to be down on the Kenai Peninsula, where I went to a facility where they are utilizing dogs in partner with our veterans who are suffering from PTSD and just associated issues to just allow an outlet, a focus on something, a calming sense. I have personally seen, coming to my office here in Washington, D.C., several Alaskan vets that have their animals with them, and they tell me that in terms of ways that they are able to address PTSD without the benefit, if you will, of drugs, these dogs are providing a great deal. Veterans therapeutic courts is something that is being considered. So there's these alternatives that are out there that I think the community can be very helpful. Can you speak to what we're seeing in terms of some of the innovation? It's one thing to talk about video technology, but the other areas that we can be more proactive from a community-based perspective in providing the assistance for these veterans, particularly in our rural areas.
Sure. From a research perspective, I think about this kind of a triad of innovation, quality, and effectiveness, really. And unfortunately, with suicide prevention, we don't have many studies that have been proven effective. But people are consistently thinking about new innovative ways to identify populations and to get programs that appear to work and appear to work and that look valid, at least on the face. I know that there's a lot of effort right now with respect to social media and ways that we can use social media to intervene. And I think that has a lot of potential, especially with younger veterans, high school students who may be experiencing suicidal thoughts. But I think we need to test those interventions, and especially people in rural areas who are connected and who are on social media platforms. But we have to test how those things work.
Well, let me ask then if any of these more experimental or perhaps less traditional, let's say that, are being considered beyond the just the telehealth.
Absolutely. We know that we can learn a lot from social media. It probably is not for all age ranges of veterans, but particularly for younger veterans, this is actually a way of life. This is not out there. This is real life, right? And frankly, we would leave no stone unturned. And, you know, as a senior official at the department, I've often gotten emails from veterans saying, I don't know this person, but I saw it on my Facebook, or I saw it somewhere else. Can you reach out and help? And I would say more than 90% of the time, somebody can locate that person. It's a different world, but can be very, very effective, particularly for veterans who often use this as a lifeline to maintain connections with the community of people with whom they